with Mrs.N.
Hey kids, are you bored? Don't let your brains turn into a pile of mush.
Ew.
It's time to use your imaginations. You heard me, your imagination, the power of creativity.
Hey friends, Mrs.N here. Today I'm imagining what it would be like to be a superhero. How would I start? Well, first I would need a really snazzy costume. This just won't do. What would it be like? That's much better. So now that I've got my snazzy costume, what are my superpowers going to be? Now, if I could only choose 3, they got to be 3 good ones. Well, first, I got to have the ability to fly. That's a given. And then, I really want to be able to heal people. Oh, I only have 1 left. I got to make it a really, really good one. I know. I got it. The power of creativity. What? You don't think that's a superpower? Are you crazy? That's like the best superpower. I can imagine my way out of any situation. Whatever villain's in my path, I could outsmart them with my imagination and my creative powers. That's the best one, I think. So, what kind of superhero are you going to be? What are your powers going to be? What's your costume going to look like? Start thinking about it now. Let's go meet at the drawing table and we'll figure it out together. You can walk there, but I'm gonna fly. All right, we're ready to begin. We have our paper. You'll need a pencil, and you'll also need an eraser. Now, this might look different than the erasers you're used to. This is called a kneadable eraser. Really, any eraser will do. However, pencil top erasers are not so great, so it's always nice if you have an extra eraser to use. Since we're on camera, I'm going to use a red marker to show my drawing so that you can see it better. Whenever you are going to draw, you always want to break down your image into basic shapes. So my beginners, you're going to want to go for really basic shapes like circles and rectangles to make your person. And it's okay if it doesn't look right at first, because you'll be able to fine-tune it as you go. So here my legs are rectangles. I have circles for my hands, rectangles for my arms, rectangle for my body. And I can start to connect my lines together. Can't forget my feet. We got our ovals for our feet. Now, it's okay if your lines aren't perfect. What I recommend is you draw light until you get it right, because it's easier to erase when you have light lines. Then you'll be able to go and start to draw in your face. Now, once you have your basic form down, you're going to want to start to think about all your details. So, what kind of powers does your superhero have? How will their powers affect their costumes? Do you have a cape? Do you need a mask to conceal your identity? These are all the things that you're going to start to think about. So I have a really cool hat that my superhero version of myself wears. And it has wings on the side of it because I can fly. I also have the amazing superpower of creativity. And that's going to be on my cape. You're also going to think about, do you have any sort of emblem here? Maybe I go and bring my shield here, where I have a paintbrush, and I have a pencil, and all sorts of different cool art supplies on my front. Maybe my cape is blowing in the breeze. So once I have a basic idea of how my person is, and I will check proportions. So here, I want to make sure that my top and bottom are all proportionate. Proportion means that it's the right size of your head compared to your arm, compared to the length of your legs. So you're going to try to think of your proportions. Once I have a good feel of that now, if I was working with pencil, I would go back in and fine-tune my lines, the lines that I want to keep, and erase the lines that I don't want to keep. Now I'm going to go in with marker so you can see the difference. Here's my super cool hat that I love. Super me. Yay! Can't forget the eyebrows. All right. Now, maybe you don't want your superhero just standing there. Maybe you want them doing something in motion, like getting ready to take off or flying in the air. One of my superpowers would be able to fly, or maybe even better, maybe to teleport. So I'm going to have this person, or this version of me, flying. So I'm going to go and make my head. And again, we're doing simple shapes. So maybe I have my rectangles go this way. And my legs are starting to take off, so my rectangles go this way. Here's my feet. Again, you're doing all of this in pencil so that you can erase later. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just doing my simple shapes. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to have my really cool hat that I love. I'm super happy I'm flying. There's my cape, it's taking off in the breeze. Okay, again, there I've got my really simple shapes that I started off. Now I can start to fine tune it. Again, you would do this with pencil. You would erase the lines that you don't want. I'm doing it in marker so that you can see it better from at home. Oh, here we go. So now my person is ready. They're flying off to help heal the world and to spread creative energy. There we go. So that's my more beginner style. Now, if you're one of my more advanced students, like my high up there 5th graders, you're going to want to think about how we started our figure studies. Now, when we did our figure studies, using our armatures, we did a lot of loose, light, sketchy lines. Again, you'd be using your pencil for this. I'm using the marker so that you can see it. So when we used our armature, we positioned them straight forward at first, and we did our loose, sketchy lines. So again, this figure is just standing with their hips. They're proud to be their superhero selves. Now for our armatures, we had balls at the joint so that we could go and move them. So here is my loose sketch of how my person would be. So then we would go in with our eraser because we started in pencil. But now, since I'm doing this in marker, I'm going to go back in with my black marker to fine tune where my images would be. Or your eyes would be in your center of your head, your nose here, your mouth here. Oh, this one looks angry here, but we'll fix that, don't worry. So next, I will go and choose the line that I would like for my head shape. Because remember, when we're sketching out, not all our lines are perfect. We're going back to fine-tune those lines. Here's my really cool wings on my hat. That's my favorite part.
And it's okay if they're not perfect. What's important is you're having fun. All right, so now here's my superhero just chilling out, standing, looking proud. They're ready for their photo op. So then I would be doing the same kind of shapes, breaking it down simply. So here is my chest shape. Bringing it down, here's the arm socket. There's my arm. Here's the arm socket here, and the shoulder, elbow. There we go, there's the pelvic bone coming into place. Here would be our hips, our hip bones coming in for our legs. And again, our lines aren't perfect, that's why we're sketching. It doesn't have to be perfect. The more you do it, the better you get. Drawing is like using a muscle. If you don't draw for a long time, that muscle is going to get weak and it's going to take some practice to get it back. And that's okay. But the more you draw, the better you get. So, get my cool wings in there. I got a little messed up there. That's okay though, because we're in the sketching phase. Okay. So here you'd start to go and fix any of your proportions. If something's a little too thick or too thin, you can start to work it out here. Here the position of my head's a little off, so that's something I know I'll have to go back and fix. But that gives me my general idea of where it needs to go. All right. So then you'd be working in pencil, you'd go back, make it darker, the lines that you want to keep, erase the lines that you don't want to. I'm working in my marker. This arm would have to be a little bit longer, and then that would go off here. That's okay. So now I'm going to go back with my marker, and I'm going to refine. Oh, I forgot my cape. I'll just draw that in here. There we go. Cape is important. Okay. So now I would go back in, I would add my details, I would fine tune everything. Okay, so that's the basic breakdown. You're going to remember to use your basic shapes. So you're using squares, rectangles, circles. I used a lot of ovals when I was creating this image here. And on our simpler one, you're going to keep the shapes even simpler. So you're not going to get into all those complicated. So you're going to choose which level you're at. There's nothing wrong with going for really basic shapes first. They can be a lot of fun to make. But if you feel like going and giving yourself the extra bit of challenge, that's when you can start to go and bring in your ovals and your circles a little bit more and start incorporating the joints to make it a little bit more advanced. As you go, you can start to go and develop your drawing even more. Here's mine that I've been working on. I still think I might add a little bit more color to the background, but you can do amazing things when you put your mind to it and keep working hard. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Thanks so much.